Morning, guys. Welcome to Friday. We've made it to the end of the week, and I want you to have a think back about our assemblies this week and think about what we've been talking about. So what have you remembered? Tell your teacher, tell your grown-ups. Well done. That's right. So on Monday, we talked about a range of different feelings and how what's happened to us can affect our feelings. And on Wednesday, we talked about love. So today is another assembly about different feelings, and I'm going to just show you a couple of bits and bobs so that you can see some different things. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story in our assembly today. So here we go. So we're thinking about good health and well-being again. Okay. Now what I want you to do is think, what's that? And then when you thought about what's that, then think about, what's that? One's a bee, one's a wasp. But do you know the difference? Do you know which one is which and what's different about them? So here we go. Here's the bee and here is the wasp. Okay, so the differences are, let's have a look at some of these differences, shall we? So bees are fuzzier. You can see there, it almost looks like it's hairy, with much fuller bodies. Can you see there the wasp looks like it's thinner and longer and narrower, whereas the bee looks more kind of cuddly and fat. So wasps tend to be thinner, and they've got thinner legs as well. And they look a little bit shinier too. So bees, though, bees are called pollinators, and you can see the bee is trying to eat the pollen and the nectar in the plant. But wasps are creatures that eat other insects. So what's it called when a creature will go and hunt another creature? That's right, well done, they're called predators. Okay, so wasps are predators. They will eat insects, whereas the bees won't eat other creatures. Now bees aren't as aggressive as wasps. Wasps are the ones that will actually be aggressive to other people. Okay, and some bees, honeybees particularly, will die soon after they've stung somebody because the sting on the end of its tail there actually comes off and it stays in the body, whereas it's kind of barbed, and a wasp sting there at the end of the body is smooth so it can come out again afterwards. And wasps live in papery nests made of chewed up wood and saliva, but bees live in hives made from wax. Now, when it's in flight, the bee's legs actually can't be seen when it's flying around. They can't be seen, but you can see the wasp's legs, two thin legs that are visible when they fly. So put your hand up if you've been stung by a wasp or by a bee. Okay, yeah, I have. It's not nice, is it? So let's move my computer. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little think about a bit of a story today. Okay. And this is where our story took place. So one day there was a boy on a park bench. He was obviously in pain. His eyes were all screwed up. There were tears coming out, pouring down his face, and under his breath he was going, "Ow, it hurts, ow, ow, ow." And a woman was walking past, came to sit with him and said, "What's the matter?" And the boy answered with gritted teeth, "I'm sitting on a wasp." And the woman looked puzzled and said, "Well, why don't you get up then?" And clenching his teeth, the boy replied, "Because I figure if I stay here, I'm hurting the wasp more than the wasp is hurting me." Well, that's not a very kind way to be, is it? So the boy was putting up with the pain of the wasp's sting because he thought that somehow he could actually pay the wasp back for stinging him. But how silly. And that's called unforgiveness. It's an important word in our assembly today. We've got the word unforgiveness. Put your hand up if you think your handwriting is neater than mine. You're probably right. When we hold a grudge or feel angry towards someone who's done something to us, it can sometimes hurt us because it makes us feel really, really bad ourselves. Okay, it hurts us more than the person who did something wrong. But in the story, The boy could have got up off the bench, and over time the pain would have gone away, but he continued to sit on the wasp, so the pain continued to be there. If we don't forgive somebody, if somebody upsets us, then we constantly feel bad. I constantly think about how much Fred upset me when he stuck his tongue out at me, and I really don't like Fred now. I'm really, really cross with Fred. And it makes me feel bad inside. And that's the thing that's really, really bad. So can you think of a time when not forgiving somebody could hurt you? For example, a friend is unkind, so we decide we're never going to play with them ever again. But actually that makes us feel lonely, and we might be close to losing a friendship. Or someone in a football team that we're playing in says, "You're rubbish at football." And we decide, right, that's it. I'm never playing football again. I'm never going to play with that team again. And that way we'd end up not actually getting better at the sport that we really enjoy. We'd have been better off talking to the person and sorting it out to make us feel better. So unforgiveness hurts the person who won't forgive more than the person who did something wrong in the first place. That's really, really important. Unforgiveness hurts the person who won't forgive more than the person who did something wrong in the first place. So have a think about what that means and talk to your teacher about it. Okay, so forgiving somebody if you're upset isn't easy, because you can be cross, you can be grumpy. Okay, sometimes we need to help to put relationships right. So you need to speak to a member of staff, perhaps one of the teachers, one of the adults in school, to help make that relationship right. And it might be that if you fall out with your brother or sister at home, you say to mum or dad, "Look, we've fallen out, can you help us make up?" Not, "He did this and I did that and he said this and he's horrible." But actually, you know you love your brother and sister really. And sometimes you do fall out, but you just need help sorting things out again afterwards. So let's have a think. Has anybody done something to annoy us or hurt us? Do we still have a grudge against that person even after a long time? Do we need to remember the story that we've heard about the boy and the wasp? Okay. Do we need to stop sitting on our unforgiveness and nursing our anger? And do we need to forgive? So there we go, guys. We talked about a range of different feelings and how things that happen to us affect how we feel. We've talked about love this week and spreading love around the world. And we've talked about forgiveness and how forgiveness can be difficult and sometimes we need help to do it, but actually it's good for everybody in the end. So, like I said at the start, it's Friday, which means it's the end of the week. I hope you've had a lovely week. I hope you've done lots of cool stuff. I hope you've learned lots of new things. And I hope you have a really, really lovely weekend too. And I will look forward to seeing you all again on Monday. Bye-bye.